In this video, I'm going to be driving a 2004 Toyota Land Cruiser of the 100 series. So we're going to explore Toyota's vast history of Land Cruisers, which dates back all the way to 1951, and seeing what makes this one so good. It certainly has all the bells and whistles. This video is sponsored by Bidding Classics, who charge no buyer's fees. Coming up soon, they've got the Ford Capri we drove recently, the Jaguar XJS V12 with amazing headlamp wipers we drove recently, and the Ferrari 550 Maranello that Furious Driving drove recently. So check out the description below for details. So like I say, this is a 100 series Toyota Land Cruiser Amazon. I think it's the second one to use the Amazon tag after the preceding 80 series, of which I'm a huge fan. I love the 80 series Land Cruiser. And this is only the fourth generation of Land Cruiser station wagon, which is a bit of an interesting concept. So let's go and have a peek in the boot while we're here. Why not? It does seem to be split. There we go. And then we can drop down the bottom half as well, and there are optionally 2 extra seats, so it is a 7-seater. The seats are not fitted currently, but yeah, all the station wagon goodness. Just like a Range Rover, you got somewhere to sit on an inclement weather day, but yeah, very practical vehicles. Toyota's first 4x4 was this clearly Willys Jeep inspired effort from 1951, but Toyota swiftly developed it in their own way into the BJ20 series, seen here in rare station wagon form, but then alongside the agricultural models developed a proper station wagon line, the 55 series, launched in 1967. Production ran until 1980 when the 60 series took over, a familiar sight all around the world, Australia, America, Europe. It sold really well and offered a lot of practicality. 1989 the lines were rounded off for the 80 series Amazon, seen here splashing through some mud, lovely rounded shape but a big beefy 4x4, available in some markets with twin rear wipers, oh yes. And then we had the 100 series launched in 1997 as we test here. If we go and have a look inside this one, it's just extraordinary what it's got. It'll take me forever just to go through the buttons. So even just on the door, electric windows, some hideous fake wood. That's absolutely revolting. Central locking, etc. and window disconnect. Stop kids mucking about with it. We've got memory seats, so they are leather seats with memory function. So that's all good. Here we've got the rear fog light, power heater, don't know, electric mirrors, powerful door mirrors, only works with the ignition on, headlight adjustment. I mean, honestly, just look even just at the windscreen washer stalk. Look how much is on it. We've got headlamp washers, windscreen washers, rear wiper with intermittent and just on settings. So much. We've got buttons on the steering wheel, cruise control, phone controls, voice activated stuff, old stereo controls here. It's a huge panel in the middle of the dashboard, which if I get the key, well, first of all, it all starts a bit Lexus like with this dimmed screen, and then everything wakes up as you put the ignition on. So lovely clear concise dials, but then we've got all this going on. Look at this. I'm not used to having this in my car. I don't know what that is. No, we just want to go home, please, whatever you are. So you got your inclinometer, and you can tell you how high you are above sea level. Unsurprisingly, I'm right by the coast. It's very low, and all your apps and everything. Look at that. I thought like Teslas were the first ones to have slabs like that in their car. Passenger, just so the passenger knows where they sit. There's a button for them. Very quiet, very respectful indicator bleeper there. We've got diff lock controls. We've got electric adjustment of the steering column, which oh yeah, there we go, it does do some things. Apparently it doesn't do all the things, but yeah, diff lock down here, which I think is a center diff, and you can lock the rear diff. No idea what RSCA is, but we shall leave that well alone. Perhaps electric aerial override, that also looks like a diff locky sort of a button. So yeah, confusing. Down here we've got power, we've got second, don't know what they do. All these things, a bit more standard. Heated seats, I've been burning my bottom already, and of course high and low transmission. So I think it's a permanent 4-wheel drive with lockable diffs, and you can obviously go high and low. Cup holder down here, more fake wood, In here we've got a 2-level thing, so we've got a multi-CD player, big cubby in there, and I think you can also, yeah, just, oh look at that, that's beautiful. And yeah, that is a big fat cubby. You've got a glove box over here as well, some very necessary grab handles, sunshine roof of course, but yeah, it's a remarkably nice place to sit, very comfortable indeed. And it's worth remembering they did Lexus versions of this platform as well. We didn't get them in the UK, but I think Japan and America had Lexus versions of these, which means you had some different engine options. Let's go and see what this one's got. I love Toyota, they make my life easy. This is the 1HD FTE. It's a 6-cylinder 4.2 litre turbo diesel engine, very robust. Look at the size of the air filter. It's enormous to cope with the outback of Australia. Huge oil filter down here. There's a starter motor actually accessible, so you could have this 4.2 litre 6-cylinder, or you could go for a 4.7 litre V8 24 valve intercooler turbo. So it's got a fair bit of the old spec on it. I think the turbo is down this side, buried away somewhere. Yeah, it's all very high up. I mean, that grille is kind of above my waist level, and it's had the timing belt replaced. 204,000 miles apparently. It's now over 250. It's had the clocks replaced. So what I was saying about everything being robust, apparently some things can break occasionally. But yeah, just a very imposing vehicle. And this one, in proper off-road spec, it's absolutely filthy. Tells you something about the roads at the moment, doesn't it? I should probably see what it's like in the back. Oh wow, that's unexpected. It's really nice. The seat is very soft. We've got a centre armrest here for a little more comfort. We've also got, if you look down here, it looks like I can control the radio. Perhaps plug in for headphones as well. And oh, that's quite nice. Triple cup holders. It's always nice when they have enough cup holders for the number of seats. It's a little darker back here. We've got some privacy tint going on, but we've got our own little vents back here, as well as the grab handles. Very nice. But yeah, it's a really nice place to sit actually. I'm struggling to get my feet under the seat very much in front, but now I'm in, it's very nice. And there's a little grab handle here to help me get back out again, which is quite nice. Right, let's fire up the engine. Oh, meaty. Let's give the windscreen a wash first of all. There's the washers. Oh yeah, it's a pleasing performance. Perhaps a little bit of a gap here, but otherwise good overlap, no triangle of doom, much as you'd expect. Oh, and a little extra wipe. Rear window is absolutely filthy, but you can kind of see the white pattern there. As is usual on Japanese stuff, you can twist the stalk to wash first. And there we go, very quiet. And then you can put the rear wiper on and add more screen wash by twisting the stalk the other way. Very well thought out Toyota windscreen wiper design. Into drive, indicator on, check blind spot. Oh yeah. Syrupy smooth gear changes. I think we're into third already. And that might even be fourth, and we're only doing 30 miles an hour. Oh, very much enjoying the seat heaters. But yeah, I mean, it feels big. It feels a little cumbersome on these tiny little roads, but yeah, considering I've just jumped out of a Hilux Surf, this feels a world away. It's perhaps not surprising to discover that Toyota very much had the Range Rover in its sights with the Amazon series. It does get confusing because there have been several different types of Land Cruiser over the years. The Colorados were a little smaller. The Amazon was the top of the tree. Here in the UK at least, where we didn't get the Lexus versions. So the ride is not Range Rover comfort levels, it's a little firm and bouncy over this terrain. Really, it's all about the torque of this enormous engine. That's where the Range Rovers always fell down, they just didn't have enough power. Even through into the BMW era, they were still struggling a bit to have enough power. Yeah, that's not an unpleasant noise at all. It is slightly at odds with the ambience inside the vehicle. That isn't a luxurious engine noise, but it is meaty and meaningful, and I do like that. I like a multi-cylinder diesel engine. Four cylinders just not enough for a diesel. 5 or 6 gives it just a little bit more character. It's only a really nice smooth gearbox. Yeah, I imagine these are really good for towing because there's lots of nice torque deep down the rev range, and well, really they're geared for, aren't they? Permanent 4-wheel drive as well. That is fairly unusual for a Japanese 4x4. The Japanese generally prefer a selectable 4-wheel drive. I'd rather have it in all the time, just so you don't get stuck in the first place. Here we go then. Oh, so smooth on the changes. That's 70 miles an hour. Torque converter lockup, doing just over 2,000 revs at 70 miles an hour. Just hear the engine humming away. Yeah, not too bad at all. That's very, very pleasant. Gosh, the heater is formidable. I must work out how to turn it down. Yeah, buttons. I will say the rear wiper actually leaves way too much of the rear window unswept. Yeah, this is good. It just doesn't have the sense of drama of a Range Rover. Range Rover has such a classy vibe going on, and it misses that. I mean, this wood is just disgusting, and the plastics aren't very nice either. So it hasn't got that luxurious vibe. But everything else it does very well. So that was the Toyota Land Cruiser 100 Series Amazon, and I must say, having actually driven it all the way back here again, I'm going off it slightly. There is too much movement because it's such a big, wide vehicle, and the suspension is just too firm, so you actually find yourself rocking around almost continuously. Not very enjoyable, but the mechanical package I think is superb. It sounds lovely, it's got all the toys you could possibly want, so yeah, a fascinating bit of kit. It's nice to have finally driven an Amazon. So thank you very much for watching, and don't forget you can head to the Hubnut store if you want to buy lovely merchandise. Otherwise, I shall see you in a future video. Farewell.